Welcome, welcome to Lithuania. Guys, welcome to the Republic of Lithuania. Lithuania, I'm here, been here for a couple of days now. So today, I've just had breakfast, and the plan today is a bit of freewheeling and a bit of structure. So what I mean by that is some of the stuff that I want to do today, I've planned, so I already have an idea. Some we're just going to go with the flow and see what happens. So what I like to achieve today or accomplish, I want to go to a museum. This is a museum to celebrate Lithuanians' breakaway and freedom from the Soviet Union and Russian Empire. I think it's called the Museum of Occupation and Freedom, something to that effect. So I need to go there today. We also need to go to a food market to see whether we can get any local foods that I haven't seen yet, anything interesting. So that is the second thing I would like to do today. And then after that, there's a few other things that I have in mind, but they are of the freewheeling kind. So we're going to go to the Old Town area. There's a massive square there where all important public life events take place. So we'll go wander around and see what that looks like. Lithuania is also known for having a lot of castles, and there's a castle that overlooks the city where I'm in, Vilnius. Gediminas Castle it's called. So again, I think you have to walk up a hill for a good 40 minutes to get there, or you can public transport it, but I like walking around. I might also go to Gediminas Castle. So as you can see, a packed agenda of stuff to do today, and yeah, we're just going to go and discover and see what we find. So let's see what we I thought I would tell you a little bit about Lithuania. I did joke in hopefully before, maybe in a previous video, I don't know if you've seen it, but that I knew 3 things about Lithuania before I decided to come to this trip. Well, I now know a lot more than 3 things about Lithuania, and I just thought I would share with you. And this is some just a bit of research that I've done on my way here, and it helps me to understand the country I'm in's culture and what's important to them, what's not important to them, etc. It helps you navigate life easier whenever you're in a new place if you understand their history and where they're coming from. As simple as that. So Lithuania, historically mentioned in literature, in the books, around the 10th century, so quite old country. They had a grand duchy. That's basically when a country is ruled by a monarch, but that monarch isn't a king or a queen. It's someone who's subordinate. There's a dog that doesn't like me. So someone who's subordinate to a king or a queen. That's a grand duke or a grand duchy or whatever. So they were ruled by a grand duchy type of ruling. They also had a kingdom. And then at some point in the 1300s, all the way to about the 1500s, they were in a commonwealth with Poland, which is obviously not far from here, just to the south of this country. And when Poland and Lithuania were in a commonwealth, they were one of the largest and most prosperous nations in Europe. That lasted about 200 years, 250 years, give or take. And then at some point, like a lot of countries in this part of the world, Lithuania became part of the Russian Empire, the Soviet Union, as it was known, and then remained as part of the Soviet Union until 1918, end of World War I. And Lithuania gained its independence, and was became a nation. And then that independence lasted short period because in World War II, the Nazis invaded and wanted to colonize here too. And then Russia invaded from the east and said, "Oh no, you can't do that. Lithuania is too close to us and used to be part of us." Cut long story short, Lithuania regained independence in. Actually, that's a lie. Sorry. So both the Soviet Union invaded from one side to supposedly liberate them from the Nazi occupation. The Nazis just wanted it for themselves. So it was reoccupied again. When the Nazis were defeated in 1945, Lithuania became part of the Russian Empire again, just like it was pre-1918. And then it remained so until the late 80s, early 90s, can't remember the exact year, when it finally gained independence. That's when the most of the Soviet Union dissolved, and all the republics now around this part of the world that used to be part of Russia are obviously no longer that because they've all dissolved and became their own independent countries. So that's a brief. And then in 2004, obviously fast forward a bit more, they have become part of the European Union. It allows them to access the single market of the EU. And that obviously brings its own prosperity and economic potential, because it means that people can freely move from here in Lithuania to maybe more richer Western Europe or Scandinavia, and that sort of thing. So economically, it's very beneficial to have a single market. The largest single market in the world with 27 countries that are really wealthy. So yeah, they use the euro currency. What else do we know about Lithuania? In terms of population, there's just under 3 million people that live here. Most of them are obviously ethnically Lithuanian, or Lietuva, as they call it in the local language. That's how they say their country name. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I think that's how I read it as phonetically when you see it written. So there's a sizable Polish, Russian ethnic minorities, given the proximity of those countries to Lithuania. Economy, Lithuania is obviously quite rich in contextual terms anyway. Their GDP is the 78th largest in the world. So you can say their GDP is the 78th richest country in the world, essentially, and for 3 million people. Highly advanced economy. Digital infrastructure is amazing here. Skilled workforce. The income inequality is low, and that just means that everyone has a similar amount of money within the economy, rather than top 10% that are extremely wealthy and then 90% that are extremely either middle or poor or what have you. So yeah, Lithuania is a very interesting country. It's also a part of the Baltic states. So there's 3 countries known as the Baltic states: Lithuania, Latvia, which is just to the north, and Estonia. They're all sort of fairly similar. I'd say Latvia and Lithuania might be more similar in terms of the language and the people, whereas Estonia is probably closer to Finland in terms of like language and how. That's my perception, especially the language. I think the Estonian language is closer to Finnish than it is to Lithuanian or Latvian. But yeah, that's what we know about Lithuania so far. It's a nice place. It's very safe. People are really, really nice. Like they just mind their business, very polite, and it's a sort of place where like one could thrive, and visit and experience the local hospitality. Lots of amazing I was going to say infrastructure, but buildings, architectural buildings, like just like really like this part of Europe has that a lot anyway. But it's amazing. Lots of churches. Country is predominantly Christian and also Catholic, which actually surprised me because I thought Roman Catholicism is obviously more common in Southern Europe and the Iberian Peninsula and that sort of thing. So I expected to see Protestants here more than Catholics. But yes, most, about 80% of the country identifies as Christian. And of that, about 75 of that is or the bulk of that really is of the Roman Catholic faith. Yeah, Lithuania is a thriving democracy. It's safe, amazing to be here. Yeah, do you know anything about Lithuania? Let us know in the comments.